This is RGBA, colorful tech news and reviews. My name is Alexandre Vallière-Lagacé, and I'm joined by my co-host, Tade Menard. Starting with follow-up, last week, 2 weeks ago, last show basically, we asked where the hell is our Apple event? And you know what? There was no Apple event. So Apple simply released new devices online on last Tuesday, was it?
It was Tuesday, March 21st.
Yeah, so they were just released new products in the store, and people were just scavenging around trying to see what's the new stuff, what's the different stuff. Are there new accessories, new devices, new Macs? And I even saw people tweet little fake pictures of a Mac Pro icon from the top bar with a little new tag just below. So that was fun. But no, there were no Mac Pros. Basically, we got two devices. The iPad Air 2 is now dead, and there's a new iPad, which is just called the iPad. Same size, everything. Basically, it's the same device with a slightly better CPU. No A10X this time, simply an A9, I think.
It's A9.
Yeah, A9, right. I think it's the first time that the iPad did not get like a souped up CPU from the latest iPhone version. Usually you get like an i7 in the iPhone, an A7X in the iPad, A8 in the iPad, iPhone, A8X in the iPad, and this time it's just basically the A9 from last year, I guess.
The A9 is from the iPhone 6, no?
No, I think we got the A10 now. So A9 is iPhone 6S. Okay. Yeah. So that's for the iPad. There's also a new screen, which is brighter. It's still not the same quality as the iPad Pro screen. I saw something shared by René Ritchie where he basically laid on the floor the new iPad and the iPad Pro, Baby Pro, side by side, and you can see that the laminated screen of the iPad Pro has a lot less reflections, a lot less glare in the screen. So that's what you get when you laminate, I guess, the screen and the panel, and versus the iPad, the regular iPad, which does not have this technology. So you have a lot more glare. So we'll put the link in the show notes.
It doesn't have a True Tone either.
Yeah, no True Tone. It's basically just a slightly updated iPad Air 2.
It's the iPad Education.
Yeah, well, because they lowered the price also from $299 to $329. So it's getting very close to $300, which is basically what schools are paying for other devices like Chromebooks and stuff like that. So now all of a sudden, the cheap iPad of 9.7 inch is not an iPad 2 or a older version. It's the current gen high spec iPad. So it's all good for everyone. Also on the iPad lineup, they basically removed everything else. There's only the iPad, the iPad Mini 4, which is still there. No updates for it. It's basically the same thing. And the Pro iPads did not get any update yet. So basically you got two iPads in the store right now. There's no, like not too long ago last year, you could like get the iPad Mini 2, iPad Mini 4. You could get the iPad 2 even last year. You could get the iPad Air, iPad Air 2. There was like 3 or 4 different models of iPad per lineup. And now it's very streamlined. The slowest iPad you can get right now is the current generation. So that's much better. Not just for consumers, but especially for schools. Because schools usually get their iPads and change them about every 3 to 5 years. Imagine a school that just bought like a rack of 50 iPad 2s like last year. They're stuck with those for 5 years and they're not even on iOS 10. You're stuck on iOS 8. Or is it 9? iOS 9, I think.
I think it's 9.
Yeah, so that made no sense to me. And yeah, even like for other people, like for example, at work, we have an iPad app, and people who are using our software can get an iPad to install it, and they could also get an iPad 2 was still the cheapest iPad you can get. So that makes no sense. The iPad was like 5 years old, so finally this is now streamlined. There's no like old iPads anymore. The iPad is fast, so that's much better for everyone. So that's a big thumbs up for that. And then we got a device in a specific color.
But also on the iPad, just before you switch, there's no updates to the 12.9 inch, and it's been like a year and a half also. So do you think that's going to fall on a 2-year cycle?
Most probably. I think they cranked up like lots of new technologies for that, for the pencil, the screen, the True Tone from the small iPad Pro. I was expecting everything to be in par this year, well, early this year or late last year, so that both iPad Pros would get small revisions and just get the same device, same screen and everything. But that clearly did not happen. So yeah, 2-year cycle could be it, or maybe just 2-year this time, because they're probably just like rejiggering all the lineups. So now they're done with the iPad. They're not done with the iPad mini for now. For the Pro stuff, it probably will come later. Will also be streamlined, probably the exact same device if you want, in both sizes, same specs, same screen, same everything. And then they'll probably move on to the Mac, I guess. I cross my fingers.
Yeah, we were expecting stuff from Mac, but we didn't get anything.
Not a single thing.
No. So as you were saying, we got an update to the iPhone. Well, kind of sort of update. They just introduced the red iPhone, and it's a product red there. I think it's an AIDS Foundation.
Yep.
Right? So it's red in the back, like really high gloss red, and white in the front. White in the front.
Yeah. For everyone who's been looking for a red device, the white front makes no sense. I know we are going into the different people's taste area now, but black and red has always been linked together in high performance, like fast cars, or like even laptops. If you look at Alienware, I don't know if they're still red, but there was a while ago that they were red and black and very aggressive looking. And having a red iPhone, this is great. Everybody was hoping for that. Now that as a plus value, you can also help a foundation, so that's cool. But the front is white, and that makes no sense. I know that people will say, yeah, but the iPod Touch was red and white. Okay, yes, you're right, but they could have changed it. Or give the choice.
I saw it yesterday, and it really looks like a toy. It's like a candy cane, like the red and white, like a Christmas candy cane.
Yeah, it's for Canadians.
Yeah, they should have released it during Christmas, not now, and when it's spring.
Yeah, but that would be too close to the original launch date, and they were still having problems with stocks for Christmas. It was still hard to get the jet black one, because this is like the jet black, but in red. So get the shiny stuff, and it's still grippy in your hands. There's no difference in grippiness.
No, it's the same as the silver or the just plain black. It's all the same.
Okay, so it's not the jet black texture.
No.
Okay, I thought it was a jet black, but in red.
No, it's the same. Okay. It's the same like aluminum finish as all the other ones except the jet black.
Okay. And the last update we got basically is a new app that was announced by Apple called Clips. It's not a social network, thank God. So no more ping, no more such things. Basically, it's just a capture and editing app where you easily capture video, photos, and you can add stickers, emojis, and stuff. Kind of like what Snapchat did for a while, and now Instagram stories and everything. But like just one step further. And when you're ready to share the thing you created, it's going to use AI to discover who's in the pictures and suggest you to share with those people on different social networks. So you'll basically get like a souped up share sheet, I guess, where you will be able to post to probably the included social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, and is there a third one, a fourth one?
Instagram.
No, but is it like in the system preference?
Like the official preferences?
Yeah. Well, there's Facebook, Twitter, and Vimeo, and I think there's one more. But anyways,
YouTube? No.
Yeah, not sure. Basically, it's just going to help you to share. You can share as usual, or you can share and I guess attach friends to it, probably like mentions and stuff like that. So much easier. That's fun. Apple often take out little apps like that, like the was it the voice memo app, which was original, not any updates since it was released, basically. Lots of musicians use it to record little snippets of song ideas and stuff like that. So it has its value. Um, but whenever I use it, I feel it's lacking lots of functionality, like exporting the audio clip. It's not the best, and you should be able to change, I guess, because when you record your music or your singing or whatever, you can add instruments, kind of like GarageBand. It's gonna add instrument automatically. Try to guess the tempo and the type of song you have, but you could probably get like a selection of different types. So if you want something that's more like rock, more like pop, more like funk, you could probably be able to change that. That would be like a feature that I would see in that app. But sadly, it did not get any major releases since. And clips will probably be the same. Maybe they're going to try to leverage their sticker packs or something from iMessage, trying to cross-populate those things. I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't foresee this app having major success. It's going to be used at first, but then it's going to slightly die down and not be used anymore.
Yeah, because the Instagrams and the Snapchats already have these big workflows to add a bunch of stuff to your pictures and everything. And like Instagram with the new boomerang effect there, they have a bunch of built-in stuff. So I don't see why you take a picture, then go into clips, play with it, and then post it to Instagram.
Unless they offer you very, very advanced tools.
Right.
Which they might have, maybe one or two, but would that be...
just use iMovie.
Yeah, but it's like one step further. Like you got the timeline and everything, all the controls, which is kind of like scary for new users. They're probably going to try to make this like into a little game, gamifying the interface, making it simpler. Could work, but you already got like probably 80 to 90% of the features in your social networks already. So why go somewhere else?
And I think Gruber had a hands-on there with the new Clips app, and he said it's like if Photos and iMovie had a child or something like that.
Good imagery now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have to see. This will be released this year, so we'll get our hands on it in a couple of months.
I thought it was going to come with 10.3, but I guess not.
Yeah, 10.3 I can say was the lamest beta I was ever on. There was basically nothing. Like, you know me, every time there's a new beta, I quickly jump on the opportunity to test it and try to go around the screen, the menus, see if there's new apps or stuff. And okay, beta 1, there was nothing. That can happen. Okay. Beta 2, there was nothing. Okay, that sucked. Beta 3, there was like a new iCloud system preference pane with reorganized data. And okay, that's cool. That's a nice little feature. Nothing else. Beta 4, 5, 6, 7, there was nothing. Nothing at all. So yeah, it was basically just problems for me. Just crashing my car stereo, Bluetooth disconnections and stuff. So, which I still have once in a while. So I'll probably just need to format my iPhone and start from scratch with the latest release. I know the build numbers are similar, if not identical, but there's probably some debugging stuff remaining or some old log files or whatever. So just a clean install will probably fix most of my problems. If not, then it's an iPhone problem and I'm just going to get an exchange.
So there was one last thing related to, like, not the event. I call it the event, but it's really just, hey, we have new stuff. Look on our website.
The event was scrolling Twitter that morning.
Yeah. The new watch bands.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you gotta mention those. True.
You can get the Nike bands now sold separately, and they introduced a bunch of woven nylon.
Yeah, a bunch of colors, multicolors now, instead of being
very
just
seasonal.
Yeah, there's like they're striped, so it's like 2 or 3 colors, and the Nike band is also in white, I think. So it was white, the black and green. and white.
And there's also black, like
All
plain
all
black.
black.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, you tried that one yesterday, right?
I tried on, yeah. It's very, people are talking about how much more comfortable they were and how much lighter and like breathable. I can really see that. They're really like a lot softer, more flexible, and they're really nice.
Yeah, no, they're quality bands, that's for sure.
If I'd buy a new watch like tomorrow, I think I'd probably get a Nike just to get the hold band to do workouts and all that, and then I'd get. Well, I still have a bunch of other bands that I can wear.
Yeah,
So
that's why you're saying that, because you got
yeah,
other bands too. Yeah,
yeah. But I don't think I'd buy it as my one.
yeah, probably not. So following the iPhone release, there was a bunch of people that tried to get that uh, ever so wanted black and red iPhone. So they started to mix and match components. So basically what you can do is get the front of a jet black iPhone and snap it up on the front of a red iPhone, but then you lose Touch ID because the Touch ID identification is linked to the motherboard. So you do get your black front with the black Touch ID, but you lose the Touch ID feature.
You don't only use the feature; you use the home button feature altogether.
What do you mean you lose the home button feature?
If you don't have the same button, it doesn't work. You can't press the home button
At all?
No, at all.
Wow, that's worse than I thought. Okay. So that's why people now, they went a step further and they took the Touch ID button from the white bezel, put it inside the black bezel, so you get like a Frankenphone with a red back, black front, and a white home button. And yeah, so that's what you get. There's also everything iPhone Pro, who at the same week released a Apple logo replacement, so you can replace your Apple logo from the back with a light white one, so it can light up when you use your phone. This one is like one step further, that it can also react to touch, so you can touch it to have it flash or come on, come off, whatever. So that's another mod you can do. So yeah, everything iPhone Pro is pretty crazy with that, and it's also Jerry Rig Everything, I think, that did the red front, the red back, and the black front. Yep. So links will be in the show notes if you want to see those videos. It's pretty nice.
And then we also got 10.3, a new update. It was finally released to the public. I think there's no new features, like you were saying before, from being on the betas. There's basically only the personal settings, iCloud settings that are all on top of the now settings app. But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, basically, because from the previous iOS releases, the iCloud stuff was always like hidden deep down in the menus or spread across different menus. Some in storage, some in iCloud, some somewhere else. So it's basically just like a one single pane where you can see, here's my iCloud account, here are my services, here's the space I'm using, and a bunch of other features. So everything is like crammed into one section. So it's much easier to glance and just see what the status is. So for example, I quickly glanced the other day because I got a warning that my iCloud account was full. I said, oh, well, that's weird because I don't have like many devices and stuff, but realized that it backed up all my photos and videos to the cloud. And that's why I got 38 gigs of photos and video. So I'll need to clean that up.
Yeah, I think it's even more than iCloud. It's like an Apple ID, everything related to your Apple ID. That's how they call it here. They call it Apple ID, iCloud, iTunes, and App Store.
I should probably open it. Well, yeah, you're right.
It's so you see all your devices are connected to your Apple ID.
Yeah, I should do a clean up in that. I've got like 2 MacBooks that I don't have anymore.
Yeah, me too. I did clean it up. I had old jobs.
I'll wait until I did a refresh. Because, yeah.
And also, the big change of 10.3, but nobody knows and nobody talks about it. Well, people talk about it, but only nerds. Apple file system.
Yeah, that's a big one. But the cool thing is that it's a big one that nobody saw.
Right.
That means it worked.
And it didn't. Nobody broke. I didn't see any people online complaining that their phone is bricked or anything. But it's like a big change, and it really went smoothly, I find.
Yep. Yeah, I was in the beta, and from the very beginning, from beta 1, I've seen no errors, no complaints, even like on forums or rumor sets or whatever, there was not a single peep. So that's like hats off to Apple. That is amazing. I know John Syracuse said that on ATP that if your design is well done, then your implementation will go much easier. That's always the case, but in this case, design and implementation all went according to plan, I'm guessing. So yeah, not a single problem, even on the betas. Because I was scared because when I did the update, I pressed the button and then I realized just by glimpsing at the release notes that was Apple APFS enabled. I'm like, oh, did I just like scrap my phone because it's going to crash or whatever, lose my data or whatever? And of course, I forgot to do a backup just before. So that's nice.
You only live once.
So yeah, so that was scary, but then it went fine, and all subsequent betas, no problem. I'm guessing that it's only the first one that actually did something to the file system. After that, if there were bugs, it was basically just metadata sorting or optimization, I guess. Now that they have like millions of devices using it, so they can probably get more information out of it. So yeah, super fast, super fast. Same as before. Did not see any difference. I did run a benchmark on beta 1, and it was slightly slower, about like 5% slower. So I should probably just try again that same beta and benchmark, and see if it's still the case or if it's back to the same speed as before.
I forgot to check also. I wanted to check if it takes less space overall, or if you gain any space. Like I wanted to take a screenshot of the about page there where it says all your available space and all that, and take a picture after 10.3, but I updated my girlfriend's phone also, so I missed it.
Yeah, but I don't think you would see anything different there. If you were to see something different, it's because the directory size calculation was not up to date before you did the update. Because before Apple file system, before APFS, you had to recursively go through all directories and add all the space used to get the big picture, the big total. But now with Apple file system, they have metadata that is kept up to date real time with each folder's content size. So basically, if you have like 5 level deep, each level will have their total. So you just ask for the first one and you get your total. So if you're on the root directory and you got like 10 folders, you just add those 10, or probably / already has the size of the whole thing. So there basically is no recursive looking up of data and added sums. So it's all pre-calculated. So you will get that number much faster. And if you had a different number before, it's because it was not up to date, I'm guessing.
Okay, and I think that's it for 10.3.
Yeah, that was it.
And then we got a new macOS update at the same time.
Yep, this one I haven't tried it yet.
I have no computers that support it yet. So I think the biggest feature is night shift.
Yep. Yeah, so basically it's basically like the night shift you have on your iPhone. So it changes the color temperature of the image and goes more into the yellowish, orangish tones, according to sunset and sunrise by default. There seems to be a drop down, so you might be able to put your own schedule. And you also have a slider from less warm to more warm to adapt that. Not a bad thing. The weird thing, though, is that the compatibility is kind of weird. Like the MacBook Air, it's mid-2012 and more, and earlier, and later, sorry. MacBook Pro, mid-2012, but like you have a 2011, right?
Yes.
And it's like the same thing. It's just that in 2012 they had got like speed bumps. So
I guess
I don't get that. But yeah, I guess at one point Apple has to put the knife and say that's as far as we'll go. Do you know if your device is considered like vintage for Apple support? No, I'm not kidding. If you bring your old computer like that to the Apple Store and you're out of warranty, you're out of support, and then a couple of years later, you're out of like they won't even touch it, and they become like vintage for them. So,
and then I have to go to like this special Apple Store that only supports vintage.
Yeah, well, which is called like other shops that will do the work for you that are not Apple.
Wait, I want to find this.
Yeah, I saw something go by a couple weeks ago about new devices being classified as vintage from now on. I know that because my wife's 2008 MacBook Pro had motherboard problems. We got that replaced a couple years after we got it because of the NVIDIA chips that had problems, and then the replacement board had problems. I would say, in 2015, and since it was like uh, 7 years after the release, I think after 5 or 6, it became like a vintage computer. And when I went to repair it, they didn't want to touch it, saying that it's not unsupported anymore. I thought, okay, but I'll pay for the repair. And they said, no, we don't even touch it. Like, you give that to us and we recycle it. We don't repair it. I'm like, okay, let me get it back.
Look in the show notes. I posted the Apple support page. I found it.
Vintage and obsolete products. I love the title. Okay, 2009. Okay, so you're still not vintage.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are, yeah. At the bottom, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Under Mac products vintage in the United States and Turkey, and obsolete in the rest of the world. Okay, so they're called vintage in the US and Turkey, and for the rest of us, it's called obsolete.
Okay. Wow.
But I'm here, MacBook Pro 13-inch, early 2011.
Yep, that's fun.
So it's what they say. Vintage projects are those that are not manufactured for more than 5 and less than 7 years ago.
Okay, 5 and then obsolete is more than 7 years. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Stephen Hackett. Yeah, so that's basically the only feature that was new in macOS update from last week. So it's a fun one, but I'm seriously hoping that this was just like a bug fix feature, like a update, so that they were cleaning all the bugs remaining for iCloud and syncing and clipboard syncing, Apple Watch unlocking and all that kind of stuff. And from what I've seen also on Twitter, Touch Bar, I'm hoping that they fix that. I've seen so many different weird bugs, like the bar would be black, and when you were touching the little region where you had let's say the volume button and everything, and they would appear like when you touch them, like one by one. So
yeah, I saw that too.
There's a bunch of problems with that. So kudos for Apple to make a new thing, but there are still some kinks to fix on that. And then today, we are April 1st, so it's April's Fool. More on that later. But Apple finally did raise the prices of the reduced price devices like the LG screens, the adapters, dongles, and cables and everything. So if you remember, a couple months ago, they announced that they were going to lower the price of those until December 31st.
It was just after the new Touch Bar releases.
Yeah. So that was in October. So to alleviate the complaint, I guess, and
the pain.
Yeah, the pain of the dongle town. So yeah, so they lowered the price and people were happy. Then they extended that to March 31st. So that was until yesterday night. But the thing is, we were all hoping that this would now be the new norm. Like those prices were there to stay. And little did we know, they rose again this morning. So that is now done. So for example, the LG 5K display in the US, which I think was $900 something, is now back to $1,300. So that's a big one. And also the very simple and ubiquitous USB-C to USB-A was $9 in the States, and now it's back to 19. So
it's 25 here in Canada.
Yeah, so just for a dongle. So that's one dongle. And you know something about dongles because you just purchased a new Mac and you went to the dongle town and you came back with your hands full.
I had not that full. I only got 2 dongles, but good thing I bought them yesterday.
Yeah, you sent me a Slack about that. I'm like, I don't have any of those right now, but I might get something this year. So, just to save $50 or whatever, I got a couple of dongles, me too. So I got 2 USB-C to USB-A, and I got a Thunderbolt 3 USB-C to Thunderbolt 2 because I do have a Thunderbolt display at home. and I don't want to change that yet because I just got it. So if ever I get like a new MacBook Pro this year, I would need to plug that into my screen. So that would be the reason for this connector. For the rest, for USB-C to Lightning, you asked me if that was worth it. I don't think so. Basically because we're probably going to get new Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse, Magic Trackpad, like probably this year, I guess, maybe for WWDC or at the worst case scenario in September, like they did when they released them originally. So these will come with a Lightning to USB-C, I'm pretty sure. New iPhones, new other accessories also. If you get, I guess if they update the lineup and they release a new AirPods, these will also get these connectors. Because right now, if you buy an iPhone and a MacBook Pro, they just don't work together. You need to buy a separate cable. But if everything moves to USB-C, then I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my hands on a cable one day or another.
I don't think they're gonna ship, like they won't ship a Magic Mouse with an Lightning to USB-C.
They won't.
I don't think so.
They won't do it.
I don't think so. Not this year for sure, I'd say.
Okay, so no update for the peripherals, you think?
No. Well, not yes, no updates, but I don't think even if they'd update them, I still think they'd ship with the USB-A connector. They can't just go like that. Imagine anybody else buying a thing. Like, what's the percentage of people buying a Magic Mouse to work with a new Touch Bar or a new MacBook Escape or just a new MacBook in general?
Yeah, I think you're right for today. But fast forward this summer,
Like
with
2-3
WWDC,
years, I think.
you get new iMacs, you get new Mac Mini maybe, new Mac Pro maybe. Everything is USB-C.
New Mac Pro, maybe, yeah. We've
But
been saying
then-
that for 5 years.
But then if you go to the Apple Store, let's say in August, and you buy a new iMac and you want to get a keyboard for it, or I don't know, you get like probably a new Mac Mini and you get the keyboard for it, you would get like a Lightning to USB-A. You won't be able to plug it in your Mac Mini.
Or they have to do like Google did for the Pixel, which is great, is ship both.
Yeah, well, an adapter, 2 cables in the box, so that was the best. Not sure about that. They did you include a dongle for the headphone jack for the iPhone, so that was like perfect. I always said, and I'm still saying, that they should have done the same thing with the MacBook Pro. I understand that they try to go forward and not look backwards, but in those type of scenarios, there are too many people.
Give me one.
Yeah, just
give me
one, just so you can at least work, like, and not say, now I'm stuck. I have to go buy something to do the thing I wanted to do right now. So, kind of like you just got you'll get your new MacBook very soon. You have your iPhone. You probably rarely plug it in, but then you say, I wanted to run Xcode and debug on my phone for fun. Oh wait, I cannot do that. I have to go to the store, get a cable, or wait 2 days for it to ship here. So just for that irritation that you get, like it's not like the first use, but it's the first time this scenario occurs, and that can be very irritating, and people hate that. So yeah, I think they should have included cables in that for that, and keep the price at least their stuff. Like, I know LG, it's a partnership, so they probably are making money on those screens, but maybe less than if they were making the screen themselves. But for cables, adapters, everything that's Apple branded, just keep those at $9. It just makes sense, you know. I don't think they're losing money at $9, and I don't think their profits really depend on those cables.
I hope not.
Well, yeah. If we ever see, like, in their financial result that there's a new category called dongles and accessories, we'll see that, yes, it makes sense. So we got only one rumor. Well, there might be more rumors, but they just pass right by.
Block them off.
Yeah, block them off. No need for more rumors. So there's only one that says that all those iPhones coming out this year will feature two-tone display. So this is the same technology that we have in the Baby Pro, the iPad Pro 9.7 inch. So of course we're expecting that the iPad Pro will eventually get a refresh and that feature, but all iPhones should get those. So that's great. I really love the feature. This is something that Apple should really do. I'm guessing that they're just trying to do it, and it might be a problem with manufacturing or yield results where they're not able to produce a high enough percentage of good quality screens or whatever, some other reason. But yeah, It makes sense. It's a rumor, but I think it's a given. Now that the iPad Pro is 1 year and a half? A year?
Yeah, the Big Pro is a year and a half old, and the Baby Pro's approaching a year, I think. I forget when it was released.
Yeah, so that should be like the default for next devices. At the very least, the iPhone 8 or whatever the iPhone souped up version we'll get this year. So, yeah.
I saw a picture this week. I just, when we talked about rumors, it reminded me. And it's the new, like iPhone 8 blueprint leaks. Okay, so I just found the picture of the rumor. Here, I'll post it in the show notes so you can see it. I think it's the second one I see like this. So it basically had the two cameras, one on top of the other. Yeah, I think you saw this, right?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
No? And
No.
then you see, like, the screen would be super small because they stuck all the, like, the sensors on top. So they'd go, like, almost bezel-less like we saw with the Samsung 8, Galaxy 8 thing. But this is one picture, but I saw another picture with people, not renders there, but I forget how they call it. Whatever. I found it cool and I liked it, but then I guess you don't.
Yeah, no, really not. And also, one thing that you probably did not see.
Yes,
take a look at the picture closer.
I know what you mean.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure.
Okay.
You're going to talk about the 3 little dots there, like the Pro connector thing?
No. Look at the
buttons?
No. look at the overlay on the image where you have the @ on leaks.
Yeah.
Look around the sides.
April Fool?
Yep.
Oopsies.
It was an April Fool joke.
I got caught.
You got caught. All right.
But I saw another one like this week.
Yeah,
twice.
Well, probably the other person did not see little details. And they probably just tried, I don't know, to make it like their own news.
This is great.
Yep. So we'll just do the April Fool now, since you just got cut by one. So
that was okay.
Yep. So the first one is from Google. It's, that little cylinder, Google Home. Well, they are now announcing the Google Gnome. So it's basically like an outdoor version that looks like a garden gnome. Where you can ask features like turn my hose on, turn my water off. But as soon as you ask it a question about interior stuff, then like a timer or something for food, it's going to say, you don't have to ask me that. It's only for the inside cylinder. So that's fun. The other one I saw, which was quite nicely done, is the Sticker Mule. Sticky Mule is a maker of sticker. Basically, you upload your imagery and they print out your design on a wide variety of stickers. Well, Sticker Mule now is a new app that you can install. And once you place your image in that little wizard where you make your design, you can actually peel off the sticker from your screen and try it on. So, yeah, that's all nice stuff.
But the Google Home thing, is it just an April Fool? They're really going to ship it?
No, it's an April Fool. They're not going to ship it. The one I should actually go look is actually ThinkGeek. They've been doing so great on April Fool, and they usually have like 3 or 4 different devices, and every year one of those actually make out to be like a real thing. So
I don't see anything right now.
Well, I don't know. There's weird stuff like Westworld full body snake temporary tattoo. So that's weird. Hot Pocket sleeping bag.
The swim desk for $2,000.
Nice. Yeah, that should be one. But usually they actually have like.
Okay, I think that's one because there's a guy in a suit in the water.
Okay, if you do buy now, then it usually says, "Yeah, gotcha. No need to pay all salty."
Oh, it's the guy there. I forget.
Yeah, the
video.
guy. Yeah, with the salt.
Put salts on it on his elbow.
Where's the other one? There must be one. Let's say I get the Hot Pocket.
Okay, then got you again for the Westworld guy.
Yeah, so Westworld Hot Pocket is all new stuff, all fake stuff. What about the swear jar? Nope. Yeah, so I think everything on the homepage is actually there's the bicycle horn of Gondor for your bicycle. That's nice. If I was a kid, I would get that.
Even the Where's Barb? Like it's like Where's Waldo, but for Stranger Things.
Yeah, true.
That one
Right.
too. The big
Nice.
header there, the big hero.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so they got more than 2 or 3 this year.
Okay, so let's stop talking about April Fools since I got caught.
They even have Shazam, the movie, which is kind of I think it's like an urban legend. It's like the
It's not a real movie.
no, it's like the jeez, Birkenstein Bears. It's just like the Berenstein Bears like conspiracy. When we were kids, there was this show that was called the Berenstein Bears, which was BrenStain. So almost like a stain. And everything you look at today, the last the voice of the last A is replaced by an E. And no, it doesn't matter how many people you ask. Everybody remembers that there was like actually an A in there and not an E. So there's like a whole conspiracy going on the internet and everything as things goes with these stuff. So I think Shazam is the same thing, is that everybody remembers like there was a movie like that with Sinbad, but like nobody has it. Nobody like, possessed it. So it's like if something entered like our lives, but it was like never really there, or it was maybe like there were marketing plans for that and it never happened or whatever. And I think if you even ask the guy and he says, "Oh no, he never did that," so it's like it's like a big conspiracy. I don't know. It's so yeah. They have that on ThinkGeek also if you want to buy it.
I have to check my old books to see if it says STEIN or
if you still have those,
STA.
yes, unless the CIA got to your house before you and stole them
Right.
or replaced
But
them
I
with
think
something else.
they might still be at my parents' somewhere.
Cool. Take a look, please. All right.
Also, was this an iOS 10 or an iOS 10.3 feature? They change the possibility to ship your app with multiple home screen icons.
I think it was in 10.3.
Right. So we were all, it was news, and then we're like, oh, so what is this going to be used for? I don't see, whatever, like, okay. And then MLB, and I think all like American professional sports came out with this great idea. So usually when you download like the MLB or the NHL or the NBA app, the first thing they ask you is your favorite team. So they like personalize the home tab to show like everything related, like games for your favorite team and everything. So now when you open the app after the update, after 10.3 update and the new like app update, they give you the possibility to switch the icon to your favorite team's icon. So that's a pretty nice use of this new feature, and it's cool.
I think it's the best way to use that. There were also talks of weather apps using like the sun or clouds or rain, whatever, in their icon, like in a lively manner. So you can always look at your home screen and see what's the weather.
But I think the problem is that they have to have your permission every time they change it, if I'm not mistaken.
That could be one implementation detail I did not see. Go. Okay, that would make sense.
It's not like a live thing that you can change on your own, like on the apps side. It's something you have to ask the user, like, would you mind changing your app icon? And then you hit yes, and it changes for you.
Okay. Well, then that will not work for weather apps, but it's still cool that it works for MLB. I think you said also NHL does the same thing.
I have the NHL app and it works. It's switched.
Cool. All right. Moving on to, I guess, the new that will probably affect us the most, except new iPad if we get one, or new MacBooks if there's ever one. Apple did some acquired a company recently, and even though we were not thinking that could happen, it did happen, and many people, including me, will see their workflow being affected, basically because Apple acquired a workflow. So the workflow app is now free on the App Store. Of course, as it always goes with those acquisition, Apple confirmed that the plans are not to touch the app, like not to like kill it or like, but continue to update it and make it work for the long term. I kind of hope it's true because I use that app like daily. I really hope that they don't like simply shut it down and use the talent that they got from the acquisition to do something else. But then again, recently they lost Saul Segoyan. Fired him, terminated his position, whatever you want to call that. But he was the lead on automation on macOS. So like they would like not think about automation and then like a few months later just change their mind and acquire workflow. I don't know. It's all very nebulous. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. One thing we know that every app developer that had a X callback URL scheme set up to work with workflow got a little contract to sign that they grant the workflow team to use that X callback URL. That was before the announcement. And that's probably why Google Chrome is not supported anymore. It's not just because Apple doesn't want Google Chrome to be on iOS and they just killed it, the support in the workflow. It's just because that lawyers got involved and it's probably took more time than they were expecting and they just did not get the reply fast enough. Or Google simply ignored the request coming from some small development shop. So I'm thinking that if they did like this work to get that like in place and get their lawyers involved, it's probably because they want to keep it to working like it is for now, at least. I'm just scared about the future. There's no real replacement. The only thing you can do, and it's not like you could do everything, is that you could use like Pythonista and learn Python and automate some of your workflows like that, but not everything. So I'll put 2 links in the show notes. The announcement from Mac Stories and The Future of Workflow, written by Federico Vitici, which is kind of like I know there's no more... what t'appelles ça déjà, là, there's no more like Apple evangelist, but if there could be one today, now that Apple acquired workflow, it would be Federico. He could be the workflow evangelist at Apple, and that would fit his role perfectly. So he goes over the different scenarios, like what if it stays like that? What if it gets updated? And what if it gets terminated? The different scenarios that are possible. So I strongly encourage you to read those stories. They're always well written. But it's with a little tear in my eye that I saw that go by that morning. Simply because the guys at Workflow were great. I emailed them a couple of times. We discussed different stuff, and they were always responsive, always there for the community. They often also replied on the Reddit sometimes. Now I don't know how that's going to change. Now that they're in that big Apple secret machine, will they be able to respond to emails like they did before? Or is that like not possible anymore? So what do you think?
I think they're just the app is gonna continue as it is.
With more support, or we'll just let it like that, let it coast for a while?
It'd be like unfair if they get like special treatment. Well, they're employees of Apple now, so it doesn't really care. It's either the 2 ways. I see it. It becomes like a stock Apple app, like we see with like clips and all that, and it gets like special treatment, and it can work with special stuff, and it's going to be easier like to be integrated with other apps. Like it's going to be available as an API for developers, or it just stays like that and it doesn't change.
Yeah.
I think they bought it partly because they want to get rid of the weird hacks and make it more streamlined and official, maybe, instead of X callback URLs.
Yeah, of course that's an hack, but yeah, I don't know what to think. The future can be grim, the future can be shiny with unicorns, but we don't know yet. One other news that came out a couple days ago was, which also is also very sad, but this one is confirmed to be sad, is the Deck network, the nice ad network that only included one little ad per site in a very small square, very high quality products and announcement, is now shutting down. So basically, you would find those ads on Six Colors, on Daring Fireball, Code Key, and a bunch of other independent writers. Basically, it kind of was the ad network for independent writers. It was there since like 2002, 3, or something like that. So before Daring Fireball was going, before John Gruber went full time on Daring Fireball, before many other websites existed. And it was kind of like the cleanest solution. There was no tracking except who loaded the app and how many times per month. There was no like weird cookies and the whatever stuff that other ad networks do. There were no flash, there were no animated. It was just like simple, straightforward, one picture, one line of text, and that's it. It's kind of like was the ad network many other networks aspired to be, but because of the way that the internet is and evolved, this type of clean usage of your ad space was not making enough money. So basically, it started slow. It then got very, very popular. It got to make lots of money, and then it was going downhill from there. And over the last year, it was, I don't know how bad it was, but it was bad enough that they actually closed the network. So this today marks the first day that there would be no ad from Deck being served on the internet. So that's sad. There's a nice little write-up on the website there. And I know that John Gruber posted like a long, detailed explanation of how this ad network influenced him in going full-time on Daring Fireball and how it helped him actually get revenues from that to be able to go to do that full-time.
He talks about it also in his talk at XOXO.
Yeah, exactly. The one that he details exactly how he went to India.
Yeah. He also talks about it at the beginning of the talk show that came out last night.
Okay, yeah, I haven't listened to that one yet.
So everybody was made aware. I think a year ago he said that the deck wasn't going too good and I think they got told about it. They got told it was going to shut down in February. He said, or the beginning of this year.
Okay. Yeah, so that's sad. Never was able to get into the game for those because I was never big enough, or I think that you had to be recommended to be on the deck, so I would have to go through one of those other websites, and I was never big enough on the blogging sphere in English. It was mostly in French, so, and no French writer were on those lists. So, but still, like in the future, in a imaginative future, if I were to go full-time blogging and indie and everything, that would be one way I would monetize my my work.
Like another popular one is carbon ads.
Yeah, it looks the same. I'm not sure about the technical details. I haven't looked at it recently, but I think it evolved also to do the same nefarious thing that other ad networks do. It's just that it's a single format of ad space. So there was also yogurt that was bought a while back. And there's also buy and sell ads, which is basically like a platform where publishers put their blog on and people can buy ads. And it's kind of like a middleman that does all the reporting so that the marketing agency can see the numbers and you can see your numbers and get paid, and they get a cut, as of course that's how it works. So this one could also be like jerry-rigged to work similarly. But yeah, carbon ads, I think, is the only one left that is similar. Just need to see if it really is clean or if it does nefarious things. Talking about nefarious things, the Samsung Galaxy S8 was released last week, and it was a big event. Everything is fine. One of the features that this phone has, and it's not the exploding battery, it's the face recognition. So instead of using only a fingerprint sensor, which it still has, weirdly to the side of the lens and not to the bottom of the lens, so that's weird. It uses like the front-facing camera to recognize your face and let you unlock the phone. So of course, people tried to unlock the phone with a photo, and guess what? It worked.
It's not even like a highly printed photo. It's just a picture from another phone.
Yeah. Okay. There's like a caveat though. The guy used, I think it was a public display, like in a store or something. So it's probably like a Best Buy or whatever. So it might not be final version software. It might not be like final everything. But he went to that store. There was a little mat. There's a locked phone. He set up his face for that. And then he took a picture on his own phone. Well, on another phone. On another phone. And it looks like a Galaxy S8 so probably got like 2 of the demo units. And just by waving it, like going forward and backward in front of the phone, it was enough to unlock the phone. So, yep. Another thing that can be easily hacked.
Yeah, it's like when Touch ID came out and people were like lifting fingerprints.
Yeah,
from stuff.
The difference is that I don't know if you saw the way that they do it. The process is laborious and it's quite intense. You need like specialized like ingredients and devices, software, printers. Like you need like a whole like laboratory of device. Fake it. I'm not sure if it still works with Touch ID 2. I haven't really followed up with that. But this this Samsung thing, it's like, here's a picture of me. Beep. Unlock. So, yeah.
It's pretty funny. Well, pretty scary.
It's scary because people will put their life behind those security measures and they can be circumvented so easily.
Because right now they have like photo face recognition, Touch ID thing, and there's a third one, no?
On that device.
Yeah, no. There are 3 ways to open the phone, unlock the phone.
No, I'm not sure.
Voice?
No. No. There's some talks. There were rumors about the iris scanning using the front-facing camera.
Yes.
Because the front-facing camera is now getting into the 8 megapixel, 12 megapixel range, and at this resolution, you can actually get like a good enough snapshot of your iris that you can pinpoint the identification differences that makes your iris unique.
That would be really Mission Impossible style.
Well, yeah, but it's not worse than Touch ID.
Right.
It does the same kind of thing, but with different body parts. Can even use your nose if you want. So. Or something else.
Don't go there.
Yeah. But yeah, so the sad thing is that it's been just a week, and it's not like somebody had to, I don't know, like 3D print a face or laser scan a face. It's just like, here's a photo, click, here's my face, unlock. Like, did they even try it? Like, I really hope that this is just like pre-prod software, and that was just like a demo with like a pre-release or maybe like lowered sensitivity settings so that it could easily work like always on the first try in the stores. So people would say, oh, so it works super fast, super fine. Okay. But the real phone you buy will get like different settings or maybe like a most recent version.
Or more strict, like it's a face recognition thing or something.
Yeah. Because like for fingerprinting, I think there's different tests. There are, I think, 4, 6, 8, or 16 points of reference when they compare fingerprints in law enforcement. And depending on the test you're using, at 4 similarly identification spots on your fingerprints is a lot less reliable than if you go to up to 16. So I'm hoping that for the face recognition, they probably have like a scale like that, okay, they did like the low setting so that if you get like a couple of points that are similar, then it will be unlocking. But if you crank that up to the maximum, then it might look at the depth of your face and try to see your features so that it really is looking for a face and not just a photo of a face. Because, yeah, we'll see. But it doesn't look good for Samsung again this year. The phone looks better. The phone, at least for now, doesn't catch fire. Hopefully they fix that. But now if this feature makes no sense, we'll have to see in the future. All right, so that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to RGBA number 43. You can find the show notes at rgba.fm/44. And you can find us on Twitter at _RGBAfm. And I'm Valliere, VALLIERES.
And I'm Tyler Menard, TYLERMENARD.
Have a nice week.
Have a nice week.